Good morning, students. Students, today we are going to discuss that how the sexual reproduction accomplishes in human beings. So, students, as we know that sexual reproduction means fusion of two different types of gametes. If we are talking about human beings, so it also involves fusion of two different gametes. The male gamete is referred here as sperm, while the female gamete is referred as ovum or egg. So students, I want to tell you that initially the sperm is introduced into the female genital tract or vagina, and the process is called as copulation. So during copulation or during mating, the sperm is going to be released inside the female reproductive tract, and it passes through cervix, through vagina to cervix, and cervix to uterus, and finally it reaches to the fallopian tube or oviduct. So I mean to say that during the sexual reproduction or during the copulation, the sperm is released from the human male respiratory system, and it is released into the vagina. From vagina it passes into the cervix. From cervix it passes into the uterus, and finally it reaches into the fallopian tube. Now, as we know that sperm is highly active and mobile, and it moves very quickly through cervix and uterus and passes into the fallopian tube. So I mean to say that due to its tail or due to its motility, the sperm quickly covers the cervix region, uterus region, and finally reaches into the fallopian tube. And I want to tell you that fallopian tube, inside the fallopian tube there is a particular point or there is a fixed point where only the fertilization can occur, and this point is called as ampullary isthmic junction. In the higher classes you will study in detail about it. So we can say that inside the fallopian tube, the fusion of sperm as well as the ovum can occur, means the fertilization only occurs in the fallopian tube, and the fusion of male and female gamete is referred as fertilization. And I want to code one more thing. The fertilization can only occur when the ovulation occurs from the ovary, means once in a month the human ovary releases ovum or female gamete. When it is present only in the fallopian tube, then only the process of fertilization will occur. If it passes the fallopian tube and it comes into the uterus, then the fertilization will not occur. So during the ovulatory phase, it is the mid phase of the menstrual cycle, about 14th day of the menstrual cycle. When the ovulatory phase is there, then only the fertilization can occur. Now after that fertilization, that fertilized egg converts into zygote, and here in fallopian tube the formation of embryo starts, means while the male and the female gametes are fusing together and zygote formation is going to take place, then immediately what happens, this zygote develops into embryo. Okay, and the process of embryonic development starts from the fallopian tube. And we can say that when the menstruation of female do not occur, then only we can say that the pregnancy is going to be start. Now from the fallopian tube, this embryo slowly moves down and comes into the uterus, and inside the uterus it gets embedded with the uterine wall, because as we know that uterus is very thick structure. It has the innermost wall which is called endometrium. In the endometrium wall of the uterus, the embryo gets embedded, and the process is called as implantation. Okay, it's very important term, that implantation is very important. While the implantation is going to take place, there is a special tissue which develops between the uterine wall as well as the embryo, means the developing embryo, which can be referred as fetus. So there is a tissue which develops between the developing fetus as well as the embryonic wall, and this tissue which joins the fetus or embryo as well as the uterine wall, it is called as placenta. Sometimes a question comes in the examination, what are the functions of the, what is placenta and what are its function, then you can answer that placenta is a intermediate or connecting link between developing fetus and the uterine wall of the mother, and its functions are very important because it helps in the exchange of nutrients between mother to developing fetus, as well as it provides oxygen to the developing fetus, and simultaneously it also helps in the removal of the carbon dioxide as well as the waste which are produced in the developing fetus. So there are dual functions. The first, it provides nutrition as well as oxygen to the developing fetus. Second, it helps in the removal of carbon dioxide as well as the waste products from the fetus. And I want to tell you that the development period, or we can say that the embryonic development inside the uterus takes place about 280 80 days, and this period of the development of the embryo inside the uterus is called a gestation period. Once after the 220 days, when the fetus develops completely, then it comes out from the uterus into the external environment, and naturally the process is called as birth, or in biological terms it is referred as parturition. ठीक है, तो the process of the birth of the child, parturition, ठीक है, occurs at the end of gestation period of embryonic development. Now after the parturition, the child which comes out from the mother's body, ठीक है, or approximately after 9 months when the baby comes out, ठीक है, it gets nourishment from the mother through her mammary gland, because female has a pair of mammary glands which produce milk, and this milk is very important or useful to feed newly born baby. ठीक है, so today I am concluding myself. I hope so that today's topic was quite clear and you understood it very well. Once again, I will meet you in the next video. Till then, thank you, bye bye, and have a nice day.